Hello and welcome to SolaceVision. I'm Jimmy and this is the third video in my animation reaction series. Today we're looking at Chess Game. In terms of concept and craftsmanship, this animation is quite similar to the last one, so there's probably not a lot to talk about here, but it's still worth watching. Well, let's watch it then. Let's go ahead. He puts his piece down. Alright, your turn, Bonnie. So it's basically a chess game between Freddy and Bonnie. Very simple, but it's humorous nonetheless. You mean me? Yes, you. That's funny. I remember that part. I think most of the animations spent Bonnie deciding what move to make, and he can't make up his mind. Oh, you got one? Nah, never mind. Honestly, I can sympathise with both of them. I can sympathise with Freddy because I'm also quite impatient with people taking too long to make a decision. But at the same time, just like Bonnie, I am abysmal at chess. I do not have the logical brain required to play it. So, yeah, this is basically most of the animation, just Bonnie being very indecisive. And there's the clock on the wall. The hands aren't moving because that's a very basic old clock model with non-movable hands, but I had to make do with what I had. And it's taken so long that Freddy's fallen asleep. And then, you got one! Yes, finally. I think I made the music a bit too loud here. And also way more dramatic than it has any right to be. The zoom in on Freddy's face. Come on. Make your move, Bonnie. Make your move. Make your move. Come on, come on. Denied. Hi. Uh-oh. Who's that? It's Balloon Boy. Uh-oh. Yeah, well, that was Chess Gamer. Just like the last animation, I completely forgot how funny that was. I forgot how much of a sense of humour I had back then. Well, that was thoroughly entertaining. So without any further comment, let's go into my thought process. So just like with Chica Plays the Piano, this is supposed to be a glimpse into Freddy Fazbear's Pizza after hours, like what the animatronics do after the building closes. And in this case, it's two animatronics playing chess with each other, having a great time. One thing I do want to clear up is that chess set model. I think it's a model from Half-Life, I'm not too sure. That model is completely static, the pieces cannot be moved, you cannot remove the pieces from the board. This was back in the salad days of 2015 when we didn't have a lot to use at our disposal. So in order to create the illusion that Freddy was moving a piece, I had to position the camera below the board, then quickly pan up, then have Freddy put the piece down. I didn't think it would work at first, but I somehow pulled it off, and if you use your imagination, it works. You can see that my skills are rapidly improving here, the way that Freddy's moving his head and Bonnie's moving his arms. My ability to move the models is greatly improving, and I'm getting better at this. One thing I'm not getting better at, though, is the lighting. The lighting is absolutely atrocious here. Look at the way Bonnie's face is completely in shadow. The thing is, back then, I didn't know the importance of lighting. I just thought, put a single light in there, just light up the entire scene, and don't bother with any other lights to put on people's faces. That's fine, call it a day. I mean, they are sitting against the wall, and there aren't any lights on that wall, so having half of their face ensconced in shadow can be kind of forgiven, but still, it doesn't really look very good, in my opinion. As to why I chose Bonnie and Freddy for this animation as opposed to the others, it's because that's the personalities that I've established in my mind. Bonnie's like the slightly simple one, not really completely stupid, but he doesn't have like the brains for this kind of stuff. And Freddy's like the leader, so he would, naturally. You can see by this point I've tried to draw deep into the emotions of these characters. You can see by Freddy's facial expression that he's getting very impatient, and the way that Bonnie's nervously swinging his legs because he can't decide, he's very uncertain. And I like the way it pans up to show the clock to indicate the passage of time. And just like with the chessboard, that's a very old and obsolete clock model. The hands cannot move, they're static. And yeah, I had to make do with what I had at the time. Also, by this point, my animations start to have more of a cinematic scope. You can see the way it zooms in on Freddy's face to create suspense, like he's about to make a big decision here. And also the way you have like a slow motion movement of Bonnie's hand, he's about to move the piece. It's going to be a big thing, a big change in this animation at last, after a long time of waiting. I like how after the table gets pulled down, they're like completely frozen there. That wasn't a laziness on my part, that wasn't me like forgetting to animate them. It was supposed to convey shock, like, oh, what just happened? You can see by Freddy's face, he's like really stunned. And the camera slowly shifts over to reveal Balloon Boy. Now, at the time, and still to this day to some degree, Balloon Boy was easily the most hated of the animatronics. I know there was only like 3 games out at the time, but he was the most hated because of his annoying laugh and the way he gets into a room and steals your batteries, and he just has a creepy looking face. Now the hate's kind of died down because there's so many more characters in the series and Balloon Boy's kind of been redeemed. But back then, Balloon Boy was an enormous punching bag, and for me personally, I never had anything against him. I couldn't understand why anyone hated him, but people did. I wanted to show like his stance in the fan base by having him ruin the lives of everyone else once and then have Bonnie get angry at him, you know, just for fun. And of course, those of you who've watched my stuff know that this scene returns any later animation, BB's Lost Sign. You can see how that happened, how the table got flipped over. Basically, I thought it would be very interesting if I created a continuity between these animations to further cement this little world I've built. Well, I think I've said enough about Chess Game now. It's roughly on the same level as the piano animation. It's quite similar in terms of concept, but still I consider it to be a classic video from my early career. Well, that'll be it for this video. The next animation is going to be one that was deleted from my channel because it got muted, but I'm still going to cover it because it was a big step in my career. The next set of videos might be the week after the next because I need some time to record them, and I'm very busy these days, but stay tuned for them. They will be coming soon. Until then, thank you for tuning to SolaceVision, and goodbye.